and we've got what should be a great one here between the New York Jets and the Los Angeles Chargers.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports.
And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. They started on the ground with Eckler. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Once more, here's Eckler. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. The Chargers at 2-1 now to start the campaign. They come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Justin Herbert looking to pass. That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make someone miss in the open field.
On 1st down, Justin Herbert finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. On 1st and 10, Herbert eluding the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This is caught. It's Woods. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they'd hate to settle for 3, but they've created a fresh set of downs and a 1st and goal.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Davion Taylor gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot. Well, that's not how you hope to draw it up there on 1st and goal, CD, by taking a sack like that.
Well, they tried to be aggressive, didn't they? They didn't want to try and work their way past the goal line. They wanted it right there on that play. Unfortunately, it backfired against them. Now they have to try and pick it up here moving forward.
On 2nd and goal, Herbert. And he's going to go down again. Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack.
So once again, they dial up the pressure and get home and get a sack. It brings up a 3rd and long, but it's really not an unmakeable one, especially considering they just gave up back-to-back sacks.
Two straight sacks have them backed up now for a 3rd and goal. Herbert now. He finds his receiver Williams for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Throwing is Wilson. This pass out wide to Hall. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. That's another gain of 15 on back-to-back plays. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
Hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
They go play action now. Wilson. They'll roll him out right. He'll get that one to Carter complete. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd and 9 from the 44. Here's Wilson. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Fullback try and push the pile. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
3rd and inches, just turn around, hand it to the big guy and let him plow forward and pick up a 1st down. A lot of people think that the offensive line, they may almost take the play off because they got a big guy back there pushing forward. I think it actually works in reverse. I think they block harder because they love seeing that guy get the ball because he doesn't touch it very often.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Play action. Now Wilson. And check down, complete to Hall. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Second down and 4. Here's Wilson. This will be caught inside the 10. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
1st and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Moore. Touchdown, Jets. Elijah Moore, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Jets are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7.
Ties the game at 7.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. From his end zone, Isaiah McKenzie. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. To throw on 2nd and 6, Herbert. And that one complete downfield to Allen. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Herbert setting up to throw on first down. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Draw play. It's Eckler. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Now Herbert with it looking to pass. He finds his target, Allen. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen. His first touchdown on the year. And the Chargers have taken the lead. Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game.
Makes the score Chargers 14, Jets 7.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game. Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
We've hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter, 14-7. On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. This is intercepted. Picked off by Rashaan Evans. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. Well, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. Sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot.
Touchdown, Chargers! Austin Eckler, a 13-yard touchdown. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now 21-7.
Makes the score Chargers 41, Jets 7.
touchdown. Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Been a little bit of an interesting start. The first drive for him, Charles. They had the passing. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football.
Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to nerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Running on first down, Eckler. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Now we're first and 10 at the 11.
Herbert just beat the play clock. Got a man. It's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game.
And the Chargers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7.
Makes the score. Chargers 28, Jets 7. Dustin Hopkins to kick off for the Chargers.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted.
Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Jets are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
Chargers in good field position to start out. 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 49. Back to throw here, Herbert.
They'll get this out wide to Eckler.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Herbert. Caught on the right side by Jones. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Herbert. And this is caught by Williams. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
Herbert back to the air. Touchdown! Austin Eckler as the first half is winding down.
And the Chargers are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so, that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And the route is on here in this first half.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust the...
This is caught inside the 15. A big play there just before halftime. 66 yards. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Chargers are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. CD, when he went to throw that, I'm not sure if he just didn't see where the defense was. Whatever the case, not the throw you're looking for on 1st and goal.
Not at all because, look, let's face it, that close to the goal line, if you throw an interception, is going to hurt on any down. But really the only down you can kind of live with is if you do it on 4th down. The first 3, if you don't have it wide open, just get rid of it. Make sure they can't get it and live to fight another down. 1st and goal and you throw the pick, not good at all.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. What a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Now Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That'll go as a 42-yard punt. They'll be aided by a loss of yardage on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going.
And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Going on the ground with Eckler. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Calling no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this 3rd down.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up.
And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20.
Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on 3rd down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on 3rd down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Jets will take over 1st and 10.
At their own 39-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wilson, open man is Uzomah. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Third and 2, now Wilson. He gets it underneath to Hall. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. And that's on big Mekhi Becton, first-round pick in 2020. And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Now Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
First down, and they stick with Eckler. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it could be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 28. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So 1st and 10. And if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second-half blowout material. Here's the option going right. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Lots of plays on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. On the screen, this is Eckler. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down. And the attempt at three will have to come from the other end of the field as time has run out on this third quarter. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. Hopkins' kick is good. So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play.
He's got a man complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
The Charger drive about to get going. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Wide open, it's Allen complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
That's another Chargers, first down. First and goal at the 8-yard line.
They go back to the ground now with Eckler. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Second down and goal. Herbert. He finds his receiver, Williams, for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chargers are closing in on a third straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. Hopkins with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing is Wilson. That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw here going to be caught by Wilson. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Here's Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Wilson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw again is Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Hall. They find some open field here. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants this lead to stay right where it is.
Over the middle and complete to Wilson. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. picked off by Nasir Adderley. And the Chargers are going to take possession here at their own 33. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And they will take a knee here. See what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Chargers, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here.